Good Saturday morning, everybody. It's a creepy Saturday morning, isn't it? Yeah, this is gonna be a scary one, kiddies. But it is a request. Okay, we're here. We're not here frivolously. This is a request by Courtney McDade. And Courtney, let me just tell you, you picked a good one. You picked a real good one. One of my favorite of the Chuck cartoons or the Chuck time.
Very lucky because it's the only one the real estate agent had. Isn't it a lovely old... What the...
This was part of a trilogy. I don't think it was intended to be a trilogy when Chuck did this cartoon. But it's a trilogy where Porky and Sylvester, Sylvester is Porky's cat. And every time they go somewhere, there's some kind of paranormal or supernatural danger that only Sylvester is aware of, and Porky is blissfully unaware of. But the last two in that trilogy, those two cartoons, one of which was shit, I don't remember. But there was the third one was actually the most interesting in terms of concept, because the second one, the one that came after this, the one that appeared in Daffy Duck's Quackbusters, was kind of just a repeat of this in terms of the premise and everything, but I love that shot. Oh, what a great drawing. The design on this, and this time was really Chuck's look, the way he drew was so much more fun. That's not to say that I don't enjoy the stuff that he did, even 10 years later. He just got better at draftsmanship, but in a weird way, he kind of lost this bouncy, fun, loose energy that came from this drawing style. But it's definitely more cartoony, this look here. I love the era, the time when suicide can be just such a... The idea of being so distraught that you would just take your life, casually. Those were the days we could joke about things. I love them. There's one of the mice always has the mask on. I love the idea that Sylvester's weight was all that was keeping them there, and then as soon as he gets out of the bed, and that time-honored cartoon rule, basically, that gravity only works if you're aware of it. Although it's not really a rule if you point out that it's a rule. FYI, Tiny Toons. FYI, Chuck Jones in the later years when he would make that awful joke. I know this defies the law of gravity, but you see, I never studied law. I mean, it's not originally Chuck's line, but it's still a bad line. Well, it's not a bad line, but Porky Butt. Courtney McDade, ladies and gentlemen, picked one of my favorite cartoons, actually, now that I think about it. The only thing that's different about this one, though, in the trilogy is that I think this one is the only one where, unless I'm wrong, the only one where Porky ever becomes wise to the danger in the long run, Yeah, by the way, that's not the internet connection. That's not anything like that. Porky was, Sylvester actually was walking at like a six drawing, like frame rate, like 4 frames a second, or like I don't know what it was, but Scaredy Cat, look at that. He dropped the name of the cartoon. We got the title. Look at that. But yeah, there's just so many more. This is where Matt Hunter and I were talking on one of the other commentaries about Chuck had such a great ability of to get, Chuck was one of I think 2 directors at Warner's who were pose to pose, layout style directors, where they would draw all the major poses for the characters and hand them off to the animators. The other one being Robert McKimson, and maybe even Tashlin. Tashlin probably was, But anyway, Chuck was so good at all the other animators, and directors. They were kind of straight ahead with their approach. But look at all these great expressions. Chuck drew all these himself, and to have the director do all the layout poses himself is it's something that you really have to be quite the draftsman to do it properly. And I don't know how it's like, and there's so many great posing and staging and also, and just on top of everything else, the expressions on these that have to match Mel Blanc's great performance. I love it. I love it, Courtney. All right. We'll see you guys next week.